So I'm over here trying to record. They messing with my service, but we're gonna get through. So Eli was Snapchat, and we're gonna talk about this digital war they got going on. How they using these internet services with the apps. They got the earbuds on their ear, following you around, stealing your information online. Remember, a while back, they was talking about being able to tap. You can walk by with your phone and tap somebody and pull up all the information. Well, they're into the next phase, a bigger phase than that right now. The phase they're in right now with that, they can walk by you and tap your card information and get into your banking account information. When I worked at Verizon and Spectrum, they started ordering hotspot boxes. So they're following you around on a hotspot, downloading an app where they can tap into your services, even with your car. That's why I had a video a while back on how they're tapping into your car through a dealership app. So what they wanted to do was go to war with America. They don't want a war where they're fighting us at this point. They want a war where they're killing us with poison, where they're using battery acid to sprinkle around your food and on in your house and cars, whether it's antifreeze or rat poison in your food and drinks, right? Because those are things that will go undetected in your system, right, if they was to give it to you, and it'll kill you slow. They're messing with the food. That's why you see all the modified food labels now, because they're going to war with Hunger Games on America. So with them being in this Hunger Game, you go to the grocery store and you start reading the labels on stuff, right? And then you start reading these ingredients, right? And then you start seeing stuff like organic honey. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's the difference between honey if honey is honey, right? And then you see modified, you know what I'm saying? You might see modified wheat or something like that. I mean, you really have to pick up and read these labels before you buy things, right? I mean, at what point did we have to put these labels right here on any food? I mean, at what point in reality will we have to put that on food when food is supposed to be healthy, right? That's the sound of my car, because they are tearing up our vehicles and sending them as scrap metal. Y'all seen the video how I was in Bethel, and I was showing y'all how they was tearing up those yards, right? Tearing up those vehicles, bringing them, fixing them back up, marking them with everything that's wrong with them, take them to the guys to fix them up, and then they put them right back on the market. They almost tore this car completely up. Salvage yard is another hustle that they're scamming through right here in Greenville, where they only giving the local community almost nothing for the scrap metal. And they're loading I mean, they're going in these buildings and they're pulling out copper, they're pulling out the steel, they're pulling out the tables. I mean, anything that they could think of, the scrap, that you know is scrap metal, even down to the car parts on your vehicles. They're tearing those up to scrap those separate too. Now, this right here is in Greenville. This is right here in Greenville, North Carolina. Now, I got the same circles in Greenville that I did in Charlotte. And that's why I left and went to Charlotte and came back. Now, I get back here, because I told you I was in Charlotte. It led me to a graveyard where my daddy was, right, with a tombstone. But down here, he don't got one. Get back here, go over to the place where they did the tombstones. They gave me S and Q to go look at the graveyard to find the tombstones. I get back there, don't even see a S or Q section. And that's why it's weird, because if I can't find the dead folks, it's a problem. And the ones that's alive acting funny and getting paid off dead people, right? I mean, I got circles around me, and I'm looking at these folk, right? Like, what? I mean, if you got a problem, state your problem, right? Because in Greenville, we tell them to meet us uptown at the police department. And we take care of business that way when they want to go to war with the local community. Right now, they got the Breakfast Bar, the Block, the Gold Post, right, is where they're running their operation from. Uptown, Greenville. That's where they running the operation from, right? These are the people who came here under those school visas and work visas who clearly don't want to go back home and create a war with the local community during COVID. Because COVID was the first time before COVID hit, we had to meet them uptown with the same thing. Where they wanted to come in and they wanted to blame the white man, right? They was blaming the white people for them being in poverty. And at the same time, they was blaming the white people. They was over here having war, killing off the local community, the black people like me, killing us off, working with the police that they had already bought in here. That's why we have 6 police departments that popped out of nowhere. All of them give the local community federal charges and fed time, but none of them work with the feds when you ask for the feds. And that's why I'm confused outside when they got me surrounded. They killed my grandparents back in 1988, moved away, right? Split the money up, went and bought timeshares, went and bought Airbnbs. Went on the cruise trip, went to Vegas. That's why Jay-Z want this casino, because it's what they did to hide the money. That's what they did to hide the money and pass that baby around, pass Christian around, right? And that's why I'm sitting here at the silver platter, because they said they wanted my head on the silver platter, so I bought my head. And that's why I keep pointing at this graveyard where my grandparents at. I bought myself to the silver platter waiting on them. When you call for my head on the silver platter, baby, I bring it to that. I went to Charlotte, right, to see what was what. None of them came out in Charlotte. Now I'm over here back at the silver platter that they went and put that hit on my head at. And it ain't nothing. But them sending crackheads around me to follow me around, right? And that's the problem I got, because they the ones smoking crack and on cocaine trying to turn around like it's me. So I had to put this documentary together to show y'all how bad they done got outside. And why we at war right now. This war go all the way back. I'm going to just take it back to what I know and how deep they done got in with it. So the kids that was in high school, right, like Shainga, she was my friend, all right, best friend growing up, all right, her and her sisters and them. She worked at the lawyer office, right. Her sister runs a car lot with the sheriff, right. My other homegirl, Ty, she's from Africa. Shainga's from Germany, right? Now, all of them are running sets, right, in different positions to go to war with the Americans, the locals. So when I'm looking at them and then the family on top of that, everybody outside fighting over some money from them stealing a child 22 years ago and passing a bag around with a child, calling it the United States of America. And that was with them being united with running off with this child, passing the child around as a Christmas tree. Because that's how they make their money. Either sacrificing their own kids, right? Or they go steal somebody else's kid and try to hold that kid for ransom while they signing up for government assistance with this child. Now they hire themselves into every job that they know that they're going to get themselves out of trouble with. Right? And this is why they're able to follow me with the police, steal my rental car with the police, right? Jack up my car insurance while they wrecking the vehicles with a fake crime scene, right? That's because this is all the people that they knew that they would need to come down here and go to war with us without fighting, right? Because they want a war without fighting. They don't want to fight, but they want to replace us. So in their mind, their war was, let's get on digital. We can go get a job at Verizon or Spectrum where we can have access to their personal information, right? Because they give them access to all your banking information because you give it to them with permission. Right? Then you get your bill, right? You see something on your bill and you're like, well, where did that come from? I didn't ask for that. That's because one of the agents hooked you up with it or they friend with it, but you paying for it with your card. And now they get ready to circle you around in this system because they got your name put in this system to make sure that you don't get that bill taken care of, to get it off your bill. And if you do get somebody on the phone in that company, you're not going to be able to talk to them because they're going to act like they can't hear you because they're getting paid more money from somebody else, right, who sold your information than they is at the company, because the whole point of them getting a job was to get into the Americans' personal information. The whole point of them getting the hotspots is so they can ride around and follow you in a car, highway communication, gang stalk you in a vehicle using a Wi-Fi app, using a Bluetooth signal, right? And a VPN or something like that. Well, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So as I'm sitting here making this video, I'm watching the lady on the porch, right? Playing her phone, messing with my service over here. And that's why I turned my car around so I can look her directly in her face and let her know that, baby, as you sitting over there on that phone tapping, you and your homeboys back there, Google showing me your name and where your signal coming from. Showing me that you on a phone, and then it show me if you're on a TV or a tablet. And these are older people, right? And this is why I got the question, because if this is the older generation doing this, right, what good is it for the children? I had to have a conversation with the kids yesterday, right? Because anytime they use their children to do what they can't do, you got to start talking with the kids, because the kids don't want to end up in jail because the grown people sending them on okie doke missions. And that's the problem I got when a grown person sends a child on an okie doke mission that they won't do. Now, they done bought all their children down here from this city, standing on the corner holding signs up begging. They on another corner holding the sign up begging, right? Because in all that time that they begging, they could be having their ass on their job working like everybody else. But when they rather sit there and beg all day than to do something for themselves, and then they teaching their kids these moves, it's a problem. Especially when you watching grown folks do. And then they want to send them kids over there to that building right there and tell them to be productive while they in the background tearing them down. They telling the kids to be productive, giving them certificates while they in the background tearing the children down. Making sure the kids don't got a future because they cracked up their life. So now they feel like their life is over. What do they got to lose? She don't give a fuck about going to jail at this point in life. She done lived her life. People like that, only thing they worry about not having no money. Them folks you cut everything off for, because when they don't got no money, that's what drive them crazy. When they can't get their hand on nothing, when they can't point a finger at somebody. That drive them crazy when they can't point a finger at somebody and tell somebody else what to do that they won't do. That drive them crazy when they can't get that Cause y'all know that's what they sound. That's what they sound. All look at that So, I don't care. That's that so I don't care mentality that they carry with themselves, right? Because they done live whatever life they done live now. Their whole mission in life now is, well, I didn't have a good life. I'm going to make sure somebody else's life is miserable. Even if it's at the risk of the children being tormented. I don't care. They ain't my kids. And then some of them don't even care because they'll do it to their kids. Some of them don't even care. They'll do it to their own kids. That's why the kids be outside. Because they don't want to be around that, even with a gang. Why would you want to be around that? I mean, you be amazed at the stuff you see in these communities. And they want to sit around and live free and blame everybody else because they can't do what they want to do living off somebody else. But that's why I be having to remind people, baby, ain't nobody ever give me nothing in life. I didn't have nobody here, Coletta, here you go. I ain't have my hand out for somebody to put something in my hand. I always had people come begging from my hand, begging, taking from me, begging. Knowing they ain't got shit, still begging. Still begging. Right now to this day, still begging. They don't come up and ask you, do you need nothing? They come up begging to take more from you. Not the white man, not the Mexican, but the niggas that look like this who blaming everybody. Niggas who walk around with money in their pocket, but they ain't got enough money because they got to have everybody money. Niggas who won't get their ass up and go to work, but they'll go steal somebody else's shit. And some of them will get a job and still come steal your shit. It's greed. And the part that get me is when you go take their shit, boy, they can't handle that one. Boy, when you go take their stuff and you do the same thing to them, they can't handle what they dishing out. Think about y'all. What up, baby? I mean, because they know, it's for real, y'all. Y'all know it's real out here. And I just got to have a conversation with my people because this got to be discussed. When you got people who came to Greenville before, right, won a war, we sit them uptown in front of the police department. Now they back with a war where they trying to poison us, tearing up our cars, act like they ain't at war. We hired themselves in jobs and bum rush this city with all this traffic. I mean, we got all this traffic where they bought through this one little town where they put this road here to bring everybody here. And that's why I told you I can name these niggas. I can name every last one. I'm gonna think I do that. Go through that Rose High yearbook. Go through the D.H. Conley yearbook, the North Pitt yearbook, and it'll tell you how they was out here in them foreign exchange classes, going to war with each other, right? Separate, conquered by divide, right? So they act like they were separate, but they was working together, right? The after school programs they was in, right? Acting like they were separated, but they was actually working together to tear us down in different sections. And that's why I say I can name every country that they from when they came here, when they started working on it. 14th Street right here, down there at that circle, Miss Jetta house. When they started taking us kids to Alabama on these trips and stuff. No, I was the only one. But because everybody else wanted to be Coletta, they allowed that for $1. They still allow it for $1. All because all these females wanted to be Coletta. I mean, the guys had to protect me ever since high school and middle school from these females that these grown females allowed to want to be Coletta, right? This is how they was able to steal a baby because the females in the hospital, Annie working at the hospital, Mickey Annie working in the hospital, right? I can tell you everybody who working in that hospital how the family stole the daggone baby. How Mickey got the Mac 10 company. Right here where Noonie died at. Now I can break the history of how this what they call themselves elite my ass. This video for grown folk, kids get off. Cause it is cussing in. It's adult language in this video. Now they've been playing this game for a while down here. I'm 43 years old. I'll be 44 in November. 43 of my years, I can tell you how nasty these people get down here. And I ain't talking about no nasty and no fighting tip. I'm talking about disgusting as in, sleeping together, because I can't say that. Sleeping together, even sleeping with their children to have a baby, so they can keep some money in their pocket. That's what I mean when I say nasty. I got cousins who slept together to have a baby, got married to have a baby just to keep money in the family. This how they get down in them elite organizations. When they say blood in, that means they passing A's around. When you see them yellow and purple and pink stickers, that depends on what stage of A's they done gave, they still calling that shit cancer. And that's why I say this, the codes they living by. When they come down here on these tracks. Like, the local community don't know. That's them folk coming over here on that party and bullshit. Because that's what they call it. And when you say party and bullshit, that means they want to party off you with that green card. That means tap and go. I'm using your credit card. That's why I gave you the example of earlier, working into them phone companies and the cable company where they got access to your information. They memorize it, right? And then they use it when they need it. Download it on their phone, tap and go. Right? They made sure everything was digital. They could upload your information and keep moving. You got somebody working in them companies memorizing your credit card information, or on the earbud with somebody in the background writing it down as they talking to the customer, right? Somebody in the background recording it as they talking to the customer. That's why they want to work from home. Because now they working from home getting your personal information with somebody in the background writing it down, right? I mean, this is what they did to go to war with the local community. Boy, you can't make these folks up how deep they went in. And it's just some of what I'm talking about. So when they want to call themselves elite, boy, there ain't nothing elite about somebody who came over here and didn't want to take their tail home and build up their own country. I mean, they clearly went on passports and dysphorias, because that's what they call it now when they go on them things, dysphorias. Rocking and rolling, tearing our stuff up, going on a dysphoria, living off a green credit card. That means tap and go. That means take your money and keep up the road. You stuck with these bills. Well, you live with Snapchat. I'm going to show y'all some more stuff about how it's getting down out here in Greenville. Well, how they got all this traffic down here in this small little town. The college down here went from, it went from a small population to almost 100,000 people at a college. I mean, they packed so many people through that East Carolina University. And it seemed like they brought the mama, the grandma, and the kids. Everybody enrolled and created these little cells out here where they surrounded the local community. We letting them know, baby, if y'all want to fight us, you don't come surround us in those circles, tearing up our stuff in no car. You meet us downtown at the police department where the police are already there, and the police can make a decision after the battle. Who go to jail and who stay out. I mean, that's how we do it. Ask NC Silver and the crew. We meet you downtown at the big police department, right? We give you a microphone. The police bring the big speaker out. The police let y'all say what y'all gotta say. Then they let us say what we gotta say, right? And then whatever after that. And then in that whatever moment, at least we already at the police department. So if some whatever's wanting to get swinging left or right, the police can determine. Right? Because you ain't got to say, well, we were over here and we got to wait for the police to come. No, we right there in front of the police building. Because you said you want a war on the local community and y'all are terrorists out here wanting war on the local community. So we tell you to meet us in front of the police department. Ask NC Silver. And we take care of business. NC Silver will tell y'all how great we get down. That's why they want to come in and poison us through food. They got the breakfast bar uptown where they poison the community. They got the Gold Post over there where they poison the community. And then they got the soup kitchen over there where they poison in the community, right? They took the ice house down, tore down everything they knew that our people had and tried to make it a museum and replace this and call it African American history. And we was telling them all these years, baby, what does you bragging off being from Africa, trying to make yourself an American, got to do with reality? This is America and not Africa. This is America and not Jamaica. We don't understand the mindset of these people. You got to think about the mindset of these people. They want to have Africa and America, but they can't stand America. And that's why we confused. You jealous and envious about everything we do over here in America, but you don't want to go back to Africa, but you love talking about you are African. So, baby, why you don't go back to Africa? Or why you don't go back to Jamaica? I mean, this is why we get confused there. Hey, you live with Snapchat. I'm just talking this morning, having a documentary update on what's going on with this war that they wanted to come against America with stealing our money. They wanted to hire themselves in a job war and not fight the Americans' war. And that's why they got into that DEI program real heavy, right? Act like we wasn't giving them an opportunity, but we gave them an opportunity and look at them. This is what we looking at. Like, baby, they gave you the jobs and you losing companies' money. You have housing and cars, and you stealing other people's houses and tearing up other people's cars. I mean, y'all reality make sense when people came to help y'all. Y'all got the help, and you don't know. I mean, you tearing it up. It don't make sense. It's messy. It's messy. It's very messy. It's messy. It's messy.